Welcome to Last Gateway School District's video series on lesson planning in classbright. In this video, I'm going to show you how to submit a lesson in classbright, how to check the status of submitted lessons, and how to change a lesson that's already been submitted. So right now, I'm in a lesson that I've written, and I'm ready to submit this lesson plan to my supervisor. Typically, you want to finish a week's worth of lessons before you submit for review. When you submit a lesson to your administrator, what you're saying is, my entire week is done and I am ready for you to review. Now, this doesn't mean that changes don't or won't happen, and you can always go in and easily change these things. Everybody understands that these need to be fluid and things change all the time. But typically, what you want to do is finish a week's worth of lessons in your lesson plan, and then you want to go ahead and just hit your submit button. As soon as you do this, what you see is the status has changed up here. You'll see your name, you'll see that you've submitted it, and you'll see the date that you've submitted that lesson. If you want to unsubmit, oops, I didn't mean to do this, I don't want my supervisor to see this yet, I hit this, and I've unsubmitted it. I've taken it out of it. My administrator will not see this in their dashboard. I'm not ready to submit it yet. But if I am and I'm ready for them to look it over, I go ahead and do that. Once we've submitted lessons, they go to our building administrator who reviews the lessons, and typically they have a couple of choices. They can either say, I've reviewed it and it's fine, or they can say, I'm going to request some revisions. How do you know if they've requested revisions and they can also make comments? From your dashboard, what you can see is if there's a plan revision, it will show up in your dashboard down here. So in this dashboard, there is a plan revision for this particular lesson. If my administrator also had comments for me, they would put the comments down here and I would see those as well. And I also have the capability of responding to those comments or making comments myself. And so if you don't want to use email and you want to keep the comments and discussion around a particular lesson or group of lessons, this is the place to do that. So plan revision requests. Usually this is accompanied by comments for what they want revised in the lesson. And to do that, so I would click here and this would take me right back into my lesson where I could start doing some revisions. If I want to see the status on some of my lessons, I can go into this plans tab here. And here's what these things mean. This shows me that the plans I currently have in classbright right now. This is a plan that I'm still building. I have not submitted it. I'm still working on it. My administrator has not gotten this plan as a submission just yet. This is a plan that I have submitted, but my administrator has not reviewed. It's sitting in their dashboard. It's there and it's done, and they can see that, but they haven't gone in and reviewed my lesson yet. This is a lesson that I have submitted. My administrator reviewed it and accepted it. I can tell by the green check that they've accepted the lesson as it is, and it's fine. This is a lesson that I've submitted and my administrator has returned to me with some revision requests. So that's what these different icons mean next to your lesson plans when you see them. Anytime I've submitted a lesson, whether it's still sitting in the administrator's box and they haven't reviewed it yet, whether they've accepted it, or even whether it's been returned for revision, it doesn't matter what the status is. I can go into any lesson, or just as I would go into a lesson I'm currently building, and change anything at any time. So just as I might go in and continue to work on a lesson that I'm building, or go in and fix a lesson that's had revision requests, I can go into a submitted lesson exactly the same way and make changes or edits. So if I want to make changes or edits to my order of operations lesson, I click it, I can go in, and it's exactly the same. I just click my gear, I can go in and add things or change things. all changes in the system are live. So I might communicate to my administrator that I've made changes through the comments section by clicking comments and adding a new comment to the lesson, or just telling them or sending them an email. Or maybe it's not necessary for me to communicate it with them at all. But I can always go back into any lesson at any time and see everything, and all changes are live.